Hello everyone, Andy Fawcett here, bringing you yet another Agentforce and Heroku demo. This time we find ourselves in the Coral Cloud Resort, and we're interacting with the Coral Cloud agent to get up some memories, some captures of all of the amazing events that we undertook and activities that we undertook while staying at the resort. So for those of you who don't know, Coral Cloud is the demo application we use to demonstrate not just Salesforce platform, but all of our different clouds and experiences bringing together into one back-end and front-end experience for those managing the resort as well as those actually attending it. So for those actually at the resort, they do have a portal experience. This is built with Experience Cloud. This is in the demo right now, and they can interact with Agentforce through the Coral Cloud agent. As you see on screen here, you can provide information about your email and membership details, and after you've done that, you can go and book events and schedule them and build those memories and experiences. But at the end of the holiday, perhaps you want to actually capture a little collage of all of those experiences visually, something you can maybe post on social media or print out and share with your friends. And perhaps you want to customize that as well. So what you need to do is some kind of system that will generate that image, that collage of all those images together, lay them out, position them, and layer the text on top of that. So we're going to use Heroku to build that action and respond to this inquiry to the cloud agent. So here we are in the Coral Cloud portal experience for the clients at the resort. We're going to go ahead and ask for that visual summary of the experience, and the agent's actually going to ask us for some additional information before it's able to respond to that, which is reasonable because it wants to identify us and know what our membership number is, our email address. So once it knows that, it's going to ask me another question because it wants to make this not just a general summary or collage of all the events, but actually giving one sentence that describes the experience that the person had at that resort. So we're going to go ahead and describe that as breathtaking sunsets. And let's take a look at the image that it comes up with through the code running in Heroku. So we're able to click the link and open that image. So there we can see these are the events that I undertook, and there's my quote right there in the middle with a nice message from Coral Cloud Resorts, reminded us that we took each day, made new discoveries, and enriched our souls. So how did all of that come to be? Well, of course, we presented this action into the agent builder, and this is the action here, the generate collage action. And you can see actually through the session that we undertook, there was more than one action involved in this. We were able to get some information about the user, and this is where we're asked about our email and contact details. And then it went away, did Agentforce and get those customer details. So it was able to look up that that was a contact in CRM, and this was an external reference for that contact. So it need to know the session, the record ID. And ultimately then it recognized that we're needing to generate a collage, so it provided that contact ID information to the Heroku action and the quote that we entered as well. So it knew enough that that action required additional information, in fact that quote. So before invoking that action, it asked the question, what was your quote that described your experience? And then it passed that through, and you can see here the final output from the Heroku action. So pretty standard stuff for Agent Builder, but it's good to see the flow of direction of all of the different actions and how they work together to respond to the customer's needs. So here's the Java code, and this could also be Python code. Python's very ubiquitous with those developing AI solutions, and we're also working with a number of people internally in Salesforce that are building Python code on Heroku that supports Agentforce as well, as it happens. So we actually went ahead in this code and retrieved all the booking information for this particular contact, and you can see we're using, because this is Java and we're using Spring Framework, we've got a bookings object here. We're using MapReduce, which is an in-memory functionality within Java to condense that down to get just the URLs that represent the images for the experiences. And then we're passing it over to some image IO library within Java, which essentially does all of the layout and the rendering of the image according to our requirements here. So that's the Java code. It's a pretty small piece of Java code, but is doing a bit of heavy lifting to generate that PNG file with all the transparencies and the rotations and things that are needed to get ultimately the image that is pleasing to the eye. So how did all this happen behind the scenes? Well, any action is able to be developed in Flow or in Apex, or in fact an action that can be called for an external service. And if you watch some of our other videos, you'll see that we're using an open API service that we built with in Heroku. In this case it was Java, it could have been Python, and we're using external services to make that action available to Agent Builder. And once that happens, it's a pretty vanilla way of interacting with Agent Builder to connect your action together. But of course, because we used Heroku, we've got the power of its elastic compute. In this case, we actually used a bit of Heroku Connect to be able to read some of that data from the back-end system in CRM to get the contact details and the bookings. And we were able to also reach out to AWS because that's where the images are stored in an S3 bucket. So a very powerful way of building compute-intensive actions. And in this case, we've got a fun rendering of our experiences at Coral Cloud. And there's a reminder of what it looked like. So we do have other and a growing set of examples that we're putting out on our Heroku reference applications website, among other things, not just Agentforce. So please use the QR code to check in regularly on those, and we're publishing those. And thank you for watching, and thanks for any feedback you care to share. I've been Andy Fawcett. Have a good day.